Guitar Festival.
All this that is and happening today has been in the pipeline for quite a bit, and Nairobi Guitar Festival is a non-profit initiative. Basically, it's myself and there's Amos, he's at the back, you can raise up your hand. Yes, and Amos's brother called David. We're all musicians and guitarists, and we thought it would be nice to have a community where we can share ideas, we can grow together, and just create a network for propagating guitar playing in Kenya, and that's where Nairobi Guitar Festival came from. And this is the first, I can say, big brand that has come on board and seen our vision. Thanks to Moses and various talks we've had with him, he's believed in our vision and decided to come on board for this wonderful workshop. They've provided all these instruments that we have on stage. And yeah, I can give him the microphone to just say a few words and introduce his team. Karibu sana, Moses.
Thank you very much. Habari zenu Nairobi. I think I just wanted to correct something. Yeah, I might have believed in NGF and Nairobi Guitar Festival, but we are a very big team. That is including Credible Sounds, including the entire team at Yamaha. So we have seen a very big opportunity and a possibility for us to grow each other from our side as Yamaha and also as you as guitar players. We are willing to engage with you on a personal level, on a one-on-one level, together with our partners, local partners, in order to continue growing each other. From our side, I would like just to Chris to wave. Chris is from Yamaha, and we have credible members as well. Please, audience, could you just raise your hand? And the entire team. You can see all the guys who are wearing Yamaha t-shirts are the Yamaha team. So this means we love you so much and we welcome you to this event. Thank you.
Asante sana, Moses. I know we also have other instrumentalists here today because today's workshop is not only focusing on guitarists. Do we have any drummers in the house? You can raise your hands. Nice. Do we have any bass guitarists? Nice. Any keyboard players, piano? Hey, some guys are raising their hands for everything. Okay. Do we have do we have any violin players, any string players in the house? All right. Saxophone, trumpets, any brass instruments? Fantastic. Yeah. So today we definitely wanted to have all musicians, also singers, songwriters as well, people who don't necessarily have to play the instrument, but appreciate it. Karibuni sana. So I would like to invite on stage Anarico. He's a fantastic fingerstyle guitar player, and he's going to play for us some of his original music. He can tell you where to find him on the social media. But for now, give him a round of applause as he sets up. Anarico, everybody.
Hi guys, my name is Anarico. I'm going to play for you a bit of my pieces. So the first piece I'm going to start with is called Fantasies. That was Take Me. So let me go to my final piece. It's called The Only Leader. Thank you so much for being an appreciative audience. I haven't actually played fingerstyle in a really long while. And I have an event coming up on the 8th November. So on all my socials, Anarico or acoustic on Instagram, acoustic_Anarico. You can follow me and then you can find more about the show.
Thank you, Anarico. Thank you, Anarico. We can give him a louder hand. That was fantastic. So, as our next performer comes on stage, I want to welcome Tugi, multiple instruments, and he's a rock star. You can just see how he's dressed. Karibu sana Tugi, you can give him a hand. The guitar that was being used is a Yamaha Trans acoustic guitar. The really cool thing about it is, without being plugged in, it has a pickup system that you can actually put reverb and chorus without necessarily going through an amplifier. So for any fingerstyle guitarists, any acoustic performers, this guitar you could hear the tone, it's really, really good. And after the show, if you'd like to try it out, you're all welcome. And yeah, let me leave the stage to Tugi. Another round of applause for him. I will let him introduce his social media handle so you can also follow him. He's also performing right after this at the Tasca Oktoberfest, I believe, right?
Yep.
So you can tell them more about it.
Hello, everyone. How are you? It's really an honor to be here. Thank you so much, Robin, for inviting me. Wow, what does I do? Handles, Tugi Mlamba, on all IG and all of that stuff. This is very nice. This is the first time I'm picking this up, by the way. I'm gonna sing and play 2 songs for you. Just hopefully those 2 will showcase this guitar and the different sounds. All right, this first song I'm going to do is an instrumental piece that I wrote. But it was like an exercise I would use to just try and be more comfortable and more fluid with my playing and sound nice at the same time. So enjoy. This is Nameless Song. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. We're going through changes, each one a separate way, new pages. We're dying inside, cause there's nowhere left to hide. We're naked, high and frustrated. And it doesn't get easy, living together and knowing the other's not easy. And life comes around a little bit cheesy, so don't please me, baby. No, you miss me when I'm gone, so I promise to stay with you all of the gray clouds. There we rain. There will be no reason for us to get up and walk away. I can see that you're trying, I'm trying to. But day after day you come my way, I'm falling too. Cause I've loved you here before, baby. Much better than before, babe. I've loved you here before, babe. Much better than before, baby. Oh, because of how much I love you, girl, can't stop. I need you, girl, won't stop. How much I love you, girl, won't stop. I need you, girl, won't stop. Oh, I love you, girl, can't stop. I need you, girl, won't stop. How much I love you, girl. I need you, girl, can't stop. Get one of these. It really feels good. That's the first time I've played it, and yeah, the chorus and the reverb. Yeah, it's good.
Thank you, Tugi. Another hand for Tugi. You can find him on Instagram, Facebook, Tugi Number. And he didn't mention it, but his dad is a guitar luthier. So if you ever do, like, break your guitar neck or anything like that, his dad can actually sort you out. Do you guys have a social media handle?
Yeah, with the luthier.
Oh, sorry,
Luthier.
a luthier.
Yes.
Tugi, take this one.
So a luthier is a person who makes stringed instruments. Yeah. So that's violins, guitars, anything that's a stringed instrument and made with wood. That's made by a luthier. So we make guitars of all sizes, all types, electric, acoustic, and then we also refurbish violins, cellos, double bass, anything to do with string instruments. Yeah, my dad's the dude. Yeah, and you can find us on Instagram at Luthiers KE, and you'll see Ken Malamba. The page is called at Luthiers KE. Luthier is spelled with L-U-T-H-E-I-E-R. What?
L-U-T-H-I-E-R.
There you go. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, so please follow us. And if you have any repairs, any modifications you want to do, yeah, we also do modification and customization. So any kind, yeah, on your guitar, or violin, or any stringed instrument again.
So, thank you for taking time, and you're heading back to the show.
Yes,
have a good one. So, thank you. Can you give Tugi a hand? Right. As I mentioned before, Nairobi Guitar Festival is a non-profit organization, so we do really appreciate any collaborations or goodwill. And we have a partner for today called Tsunami Studio. I don't know if they have any representative in the house. You can put up your hand. This is Sanya. Tsunami Studio is an animation, illustration, and film agency. They do African-based animations. Anyone who is into anime, that kind of stuff, but like from an anime, an African context, and anything to do with visuals. They're the guys to talk to. If you're doing comic books, if you want to do any sort of album art, they have some really, really cool things going on. They also have a music studio that you can go and check out for recordings and that sort of stuff. And the theme for today is creating brand value. We've seen some really good performances today, and I know many people are thinking, I've never heard of or I've never seen this guitarist before, you know, and you love what they're doing. So how do you figure out to take these products that you have on stage and get it to the audience that will deserve it? You know, for fingerstyle guitar, it's not for any kind of audience, right? If probably he was doing this at Tusker Oktoberfest, he probably wouldn't have gotten any applause. But in a situation like this, we all appreciate what he did. So that all goes with finding the value in your brand and directing it in a way that you can monetize it. Because at the end of the day, you do have to pay your bills. You'd also like to market your product and your craft. And you know, why can't we export our music? And that's why we have Polycarp in the house. He's at the back waiting for his turn. Fancyfingers has a very, very illustrious career, and he's one of the guitarists who's managed to evolve with the times. He's no longer just simply a guitarist. He's a producer, he's a composer, and he's an entrepreneur. He even does a cooking show. Yeah? Like, dude, I saw you cooking on Instagram. I was like, what's going on over here? Yeah? Yes, it's called the O's Kitchen, right? Yes. Yeah, so much later on, we'll delve deeper into creating brand value and, you know, get to just hear tips and nuggets of wisdom from Polycarp on how he's managed to navigate this complicated and hard music industry that we have. And now I'd like to give the opportunity to Chris. He's from Yamaha. He came all the way from Dubai to come and just talk about his products and find ways that we can connect with their brands. Sometimes big brands tend to feel distant from us. Maybe we may have certain needs and you know it feels like they're just so far away. And Nairobi Guitar Festival is there to bridge that gap. We can give Chris a hand of applause. Yes. He's going to take us through a small presentation on what they have today and the different products. If you do have any questions, you can also direct it towards him. He's more technically adept on the specifics of all the instruments that are here. And yes, Chris, you have the floor.
So yeah, again, my name is Christopher. I'm from Yamaha Musical. I'm the in charge for generally guitar-related products. So that's include our electric guitars, acoustic guitars, electric bass, Yamaha guitar amplifiers, Line 6 products, and ampli, AV system. So in short, like Yamaha is like a company that that covers all your musical needs. Yeah. And plus, these decades or these years of existence, we got like I would say like we're like expert now on developing new products because in that span we produce and release innovative and unique instruments. So second slide about the research and development. So basically, Yamaha, they're quite, very tedious and very, I would say, hardcore in developing new products. So basically, Yamaha has all the facilities, all the technology, all these like, geniuses, like engineers and artist relations. So everybody will contribute to produce a really good instruments. Apart from that, strength, we also have the highest quality control. So basically, all the products, all the Yamaha products undergo very very tedious quality control inspections. So we have a lot of process like stress tests, environmental tests, and everything. So to make sure that the products that we give to our end users or to our customers or to you guys, it's in. So that's actually some, something that when I tried, I feel like, oh wow, this is easy. Because I'm not really tech. I'm 37 years old. I don't know like to do like this technology. And lastly, another good thing about the editor, we have this like a platform.
All the products that he mentioned on site for testing, and we're getting closer to our speaker for today, Fancy Fingers. I know everyone is itching to hear what he has to say to us. But before that, I'd like to welcome the movement on stage. We'll just do one or two songs so you guys can see all the instruments we have on stage and you can hear how it works together. That song is called Reasons. It's off our upcoming album, which will be out by the end of the year, hopefully. So this next song doesn't have a name, and it's also a bit improvised. So yeah, we'll just jam it off and see where it goes. Yeah.
the movements. On sax, we have Eric Kimber sax. On bass, we have JP. On drums, we have Abiafa. On keys, we have Mutoria. And on guitar, Robbie myself. Thank you. And now, the time we have been waiting for. Fancy Fingers, where are you? Where are you? Are you in the house? Yeah? Yeah, we can give a hand as Polycarp makes his way to the stage for us to start our session with him. The session is on creating brand value as an artist. So this is not guitar-centered. This is for all musicians, all instrumentalists, booking agents, artist managers. So this session it's an open session. We expect to engage with a lot of questions, bit of back and forth. So don't feel shy to ask any questions or, keep the conversation going. Ladies and gentlemen, Fancy Fingers.
Oh, this was nice. How's everyone doing? How is everyone doing? Are you guys feeling great? Can you hear me clearly? This is awkward to use. Okay, all right. For those who don't know me, my name is, my government name is Polycarp Otieno. Also known as Fancy Fingers. And actually, that name Fancy Fingers came from this very place, by the way. Yeah, this place has so many memories, man. This is my first ever performance was right here. Imagine, on this very stage. We used to have a lot of open mics. John behind there, I've known him for 16 years. I was here 16 years ago. I don't know if half of you were born during that time. But I was here 16 years ago, imagine, for the first time. Played here for open mic. And then what else? Just so many things, man. Our first ever concert was right outside where you guys have seen the exhibitions happening there. So that was like our first ever concert. We're really excited because 300 people came, and that was a big number then. We didn't have any music out whatsoever, just word of mouth, playing in different avenues across the city. Yeah, we did a lot of plays also right in this stage. So we were like the background music for plays over here. So we were behind the curtain. You could not see us. You could just hear our music from behind there. So we needed to know all the cues of the plays. When things are happening here, we just start playing at the back. So yeah, it's sweet memories, man, sweet memories. I'm really happy to be here. It's been a while. So I'm grateful. Thank you guys for coming. It was amazing. I hope you guys have enjoyed the event so far, right? You've learned a lot, I hope. And I hope we can exchange also information and knowledge as I get into my session. I don't know how many guys came here last time. It wasn't here. The last session that we had, the workshop that we had, by show of hands, how many guys came? Okay, nice. That's a good number. Okay. I hope you guys learned something last time. Is there anything that stood out that you may want to share on what you learned last time? Any of the guys who were there last time? Don't be shy. Don't be shy. Come on. I want to hear your voices. You guys talking. So anyone who raised their hands, I remember you. So anyone who learned anything that they want to share, please raise your hand. Yeah. And again, let's get your mic.
Hi everyone, my name is Jay. So the last time I was at a guitar workshop, I heard you say about investing in the art, like investing in your career, like doing anything to make you move forward. Yeah, that's what I took from the previous workshop.
Have you applied anything that you...
Yeah, so far.
Are you a guitarist?
Yeah, I'm a guitarist. Okay. I play acoustic.
Okay, nice.
So for me, I've been trying to remain disciplined at my craft, like putting in some amount of time into the guitar.
Okay.
And so far, it's going on well.
Okay, nice, amazing. Yeah. That was like maybe it was how many months ago? 5?
It was in March.
Was in March. Yeah, okay, nice. Awesome, thank you, man. Give him a hand. Anyone else? Anyone else? Who's being pointed at? You want to say something? Yes, you. Yeah. So this guy is always there for any of my events, man. I always see him all the time. So I think it would be nice if you said something. Tell us your name and what you play, if you play an instrument or what you do.
Bastian, violin. I'm so happy to join you.
It's all right.
I'm so happy to be attending your events. You have been my role model since 2016. I've been following up you and your fellow bandmates of the soul.
Yeah.
I'm so excited to be attending all your events.
Thank you, man. He's also a photographer, from what I know, and man of many talents. So we can begin. Can get the mic back. I think we'll have a seat and. Hey, these guitars are sweet. All right, so we're going to make this session as interactive as possible because, as I said, we're here to share knowledge and information with each other. There's nobody who knows it all, and I'm here to learn as well, so I'd like to interact with you guys as much as I can. Sawa? Cool, awesome.
Thank you for making time.
You're welcome, man.
I believe interacting with a lot of musicians in the industry, sometimes things like ego and that kind of stuff really puts a barrier between maybe people like us in the audience and trying to learn or network with musicians who are making it. So it's always a pleasant surprise to talk to musicians of the caliber of, Polycarp and with his band Sauti Soul, and him being very approachable and, just willing to come and share to this community. As we mentioned, it's a non-profit initiative, so, it's always a pleasure for that, and I do appreciate you making time for that.
Anytime, man.
Yeah.
Anytime, as I told you. Anytime. So I don't know where to begin. As I said, this place holds a lot of memories. I started playing the guitar in this very place, not particularly this room, but Alliance in general. And those days, and I sound old, but that's 16 years ago. 16 is a lot of years. It's quite a long time ago. So then, we never used to have as many music schools or teachers, or even the internet had just started. So there was only YouTube, and with YouTube, you had to go to cyber cafes, pay a shilling a minute to stream stuff. And of course, you don't have all the money, so you spend 30 minutes to get as much information. And you can't even do that every day, because that's your lunch. 30 bob is actually your lunch. You used to eat there's a Kenchik at the corner there, for your chips was 30 bob. So you can imagine using that 30 bob going to surf, to browse. It's something that has to be really dear to you. So we used to do that a lot. And I can say with the little kind of knowledge that we had, well, exposure even of knowledge, we still really were very much, willing to learn. And the best way of us guys learning was through playing with other people, jamming sessions. I don't know how many of you get together to jam. Are we all musicians here, first of all? Right? Most of us. Most. Are there accountants here? Oh, really? Oh, snap. Okay. Why are you here? As an accountant? Huh? Oh, nice. Oh, awesome. Okay, cool. Oh, yeah, I need someone. Yeah, let me get. Yeah. So my point is, in that time, man, we used to jam a lot. We used to spend a lot of times on those stairs right outside there with so many musicians together. Just playing together, learning from each other. And that goes such a long way because there's so much exchange of knowledge and energies also with other people. That's how even we formed the band, was through jamming, actually. Because Bien, Savara, and Chimano were in the same high school. I met them here in this very place. And we just started jamming, and that's how Such Soul came to be. So you can't live in your own world, or practicing by yourself. I mean, you should practice by yourself, but don't just be by yourself the whole time. Practice with each other. That goes a long, long way, and it got us to where we are right now. And I learned a lot, and also you guys have so much when it comes to the internet, for example. Like, there's so much that you guys can get. In fact, I think it's a little bit too much because you have to filter so much information. Because everyone is a teacher on YouTube. Everyone is a specialist. Everyone is, I don't know. Yeah, just everyone is doing everything. So you need to know what to filter. But at the same time, there's so much positivity in that because you don't necessarily have to go to school, even though I would recommend learning theory, for example, in the right way. But then, of course, not everyone can be able to do that, right? So with that, the internet is there. And one thing I always emphasize on is time. I can see very many young faces here. I'm assuming all of you are quite young. I would say, please make maximum use of your time. Because as you grow older, as some of you get families, it gets so hectic, man. And you never really have the time to practice. And practice makes what? Permanent. There's no perfection. Nobody's perfect. Practice makes permanent. So I hope you guys are putting in hours in your practice. I hope you have like a schedule. I'm talking especially to the guitarists and the accountants as well. And even when it comes to that, I'd like to even share with Robin what kind of practices, and even with you guys, what kind of practices do you guys do? Do you have a schedule? Do you have a regime that you do every day? For how many hours do you put in practice to be better? Just by show of hands. I just want to hear anyone's routine on how they practice, whatever instrument they play. It doesn't have to be the guitar. Anybody? At the corner there. Should we get your mic? Are you loud enough?
Hi everyone, can you hear me? Yes. Yeah, my name is Wangeshi and I play guitar. I believe in
There's a mic coming.
like theory can be very boring. Okay, yeah. Theory can be very boring. So I do maybe 10 minutes of ear training, 10 minutes rhythm, and 10 minutes sight reading every day. Because I know personally if I practice for like 30 minutes consistently, I just not want to do it.
Yeah.
And like theory is actually very important. Like for jamming and doing improv, like after learning skills, even playing in school became better.
Yeah.
I had confidence in my abilities, so that routine is nice. And then like to practice songs I like, even diversify the genres I play. Maybe like I'll clock in an hour and I wouldn't even know because like the theory helps you. So I don't even need to look at tabs anymore.
Yeah.
I just hear and then it just connects immediately.
Oh, nice. How many years have you played?
I started playing in 2020.
2020?
Yeah.
Wow. Are you in a band?
Yeah, we're playing at, let me just slide it.
Oktoberfest.
We're playing at we're playing at MJX, the comic convention in Junction on December 3rd. We're called Youth 29.
Youth 29.
U29.
Where does the name come from? Why 29?
Uranium, like the chemical element, like that.
Okay.
Oh yeah, sorry. U92.
Ah.
Yeah.
Is that your bandmate?
Yes.
Nice, awesome. Give a hand of applause. Anybody else? Anybody else? And also, you can get as technical as you want. Just tell us these are the skills that I practice. every day. You can come on stage and
Maybe I can
demonstrate.
say something, huh?
Yeah.
Like you said, when you're a bit younger, you have a bit more time.
Yeah.
But now when
Too much time.
Too much time. But now when responsibilities come in and you're trying to juggle so many things,
Yeah.
you know you need to practice, but okay, finding time it's a priority. But
Yeah.
maybe you're burnt out from what you're doing, right?
Yeah.
And maybe for any session musicians, you do find you're stuck in this rut where you're constantly playing for different people. So you're constantly learning their music. And by the time you're done doing that, you're on to the next artist.
Yes.
So you don't really get to rehearse.
Yeah. Yeah.
So as the movement, you actually got to that point and you're like, when was the last time we actually practiced, like technical stuff, just techniques? So we decided to be very deliberate about it from last month.
Oh, nice.
So we were
That's
like, okay,
recent.
we'll just, it's very recent. So we said, you know what, we're going to book a standing rehearsal every week. And for the first 15 to 30 minutes, we're going to do a scale, a run, tempo, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And it's a good warm-up.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
for the last 2 or 3 weeks, I think everyone can say the fingers and the mind kind of opened up.
Yeah.
Yeah, instead of being in the same sort of cycle, playing the same kind of thing.
That's nice.
Yeah,
Right?
it's a bit hard, but you kind of have to be a bit intentional.
Yeah, because you get caught in the rat race. So being a musician is like being an athlete. That's how I think of it. So you can imagine Eliud Kipchoge with all his accolades decides that he's not going to do the routine that he does of practice a month before a marathon. I think he's running a marathon today. I think, yeah. He's on Frankfurt Marathon today. So you can imagine if he decides and says, and he's at the top, he's the best in the world, right, in his field. And he says, I'm not going to practice for this 1 month. I'm not going to do anything. I'm not going to run. Because the little that I know, so he runs, marathons are 42 kilometers. He runs half a marathon 6 times a week, something like that. That's his practice, and that's crazy. That's 21K is not a joke for anyone who runs or works out. It's not a joke. So something even as simple as that, you get caught in the rat race where you could be having so many gigs and you guys just meet up for rehearsals, you just start rehearsing without practicing. Maybe some of you practice at home or warmed up in the house, but that's usually not the case. And you have to be so disciplined. And as you said, so for me, I have my own routines that I do, be it in the house, or right before a gig. So right before a gig, I love my silence. Backstage, we chase everyone out, including our wives. Just chase everyone out, just to have a moment before practice. Motoria, he has played with us for many years, by the way. He's been in my band for 4.5 years. And that moment right before performing is really, really, really important for those who perform at events, at concerts. So I'll just demonstrate a few things, just simple stuff that I do. So like, for example, let's do the key of G. This tuner is on. Okay. So for example, in the key of G, I just do simple ones. So you can do a major scale run all through the fretboard. So, and then come up. And it's great to have a metronome with you when you're playing this. You can do diatones. I'll just use the same scale, but think of it going up the scale. So, whoa. Why? My hands are shaking. I don't know why. Wow. So this as the metronome is running. So even what you had in the beginning is because I've honestly not touched the guitar the whole day. So your fingers, like all of us are not like automatically we just touch an instrument and start playing, amazingly. It needs time, and that's why practice is very important. So those are the diatones. You can put a metronome, maybe start from 100 and pick it up all the way to wherever you can get. Some people can go as fast as 160 if you want, but that's a good practice. Then using again the same style, you use triads. So triads is a combination of 3 notes. So like do, mi, so, re, mi, fa, mi, so, re, mi, fa. So then you go back in reverse. So those are triads. Other thing that I do is chromatic. You put a finger assigned to each fret. So fret 1, fret 2, fret 3, fret 4, and you start from string number 6. Then you go reverse. This is great for dexterity. Then you just keep going up the fretboard all the way till the end. You can do minor and major pentatonics. Yeah, so you can do minor pentatonics. So this is just different. Oh, sorry, that's my phone. That's my wife calling. So you can do different scales. You can do different licks, as even Robin is saying. Practice with music playing as well. I find that's also very helpful. You know how you know some music that you love, but you never really sat down to really break it down. And when you do, you're amazed by so many things in the music itself. So, and also playing different genres of music. I don't know how versatile we have, how you guys as musicians are versatile, what kind of genres you play. But it's really, really key to try as much as you can to learn at least basics of every genre. So be it blues, be it Lingala, be it R&B, so all kinds of genres, just try as much as you can. So that's usually my way of getting ready for a gig or just practicing every day, as much as I can. Of course, I falter many times, but you guys should keep on practicing. You have the time, and that's the most important thing. Yeah. Over to you.
You mentioned.
And sorry, you can ask any questions in between. So we're gonna make this as interactive as possible. So if you have anything, please raise your hand, and we'll get your question. Yeah.
Yeah, you had mentioned starting off, with a Sauti Soul here, and I do remember those days. I was learning guitar at that point in time. So I just come to watch the concert here, and I do remember seeing you guys jamming on the stairs during that time.
Yeah.
My question is, once you started getting consistent with jamming and playing at the plays, then now more opportunities started coming up, like someone wants you to play at their corporate gig and whatnot. And later on, other studios and labels getting interested in your brand at that point in time. Definitely, you've not been signed before. You guys are just jamming it out and going gig by gig, trying to figure it out. What would you say if you could talk to Polycarp of that time and maybe advise him with the knowledge that you have now, having been through different sort of agreements with different entities.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just curious about that.
Wow. I mean, I would tell that, I guess maybe I was around in my 20s, yeah. I know I'm old. I tell myself to really get to know the music business, because that is one thing, like they go hand in hand. You can be as talented as you want to be, but then at the end of the day, you have to put food on the table, right? And that does not just come by you being skilled. There's so much around that you need to also learn, and not be naive about it. Even if you have management, even if you have a strong record label behind you, or you want to get signed to a record label, as he says, it's really key to know, to know your contracts, to know your rights as a musician, to know how you're going to make money off this, because this is a profession like any other. It's not just vibes and inshallah. So you really need, that's what I'll tell my younger self. And we did try, but of course the knowledge out there is so much. And also, unfortunately also in our industry right now, there isn't so many platforms. I guess now there are one like this one, for example, where you get to learn so much at an early age in your music career. But I'd say, man, and even right now, as I said before, the information out there is mad. Like, you can just sit down, and it's just something as simple as creating a habit. You say every Sunday, like Sunday for me is a day for research. So just say every Sunday I'm going to watch, for example, how many guys have watched the Spotify documentary on Netflix? Those are very few hands. That's very worrying. Spotify. Yeah, for example, that's within the interest of your music business, and you need to really, really know about all these things. And the younger you know these documentaries of this kind of knowledge, then the more adept you are as you advance in your career. So that's what I tell to my younger self. And as you clearly see with a younger crowd, there may be some naivety or thinking I'm not there yet, or I just want to vibe, I just want to play. But man, things get thick as you grow older. So the time is now. You have the time. Please, just get as much knowledge as you can.
Okay.
Yeah.
So on that tangent, we had Anarico play his fingerstyle pieces in the beginning.
Yeah. Oh, is he here? Is it?
Anarico is still around? Yes.
Yes. You're amazing, man. I'm a fan.
Yeah. Anarico, let's say I think you've recorded your album. It's in the process, then soon to be released. You've also just released a new project, Afro-inspired lo-fi instrumental album, guitar instrumental album.
Yes.
So in a practical sense, you've recorded the project and you're thinking of ways to monetize it.
Yeah.
Let's say Anarico records his project.
Actually, you think of ways of monetizing it before you do it.
So you come up with a plan before you do the project.
Yeah.
All right. Maybe you can tell us about the project and your thought process before you recorded it, and up to the release date, and how you plan on distributing it to build your brand.
Yeah. So what he's talking about, for those who do not know, I just released a project. I released a project this past 2 days on Friday, and it's a lo-fi inspired, Afro-inspired lo-fi album called The Potluck, and this came from a gap that I felt was missing just generally in the music industry. So during the pandemic, we know so many of us, I don't know if people in this crowd have the same opinion, but the world really gravitated towards, it was a very retrospective kind of time when people were, reflecting, and you have your alone time, and you just want to listen to nice, chill music, because you're in the house, you can't leave, you're working from the house, or you're practicing, or whatever it is, you're studying. So lo-fi music became really, really huge, really, really big across the world. And then I just thought about it sometime this year, where I'm like, right now, the whole world is looking at Africa in so many aspects. When it comes to the number one pop artist in the world right now, guess who it is? Burna Boy.
Future.
In the world, right? This is pop. I'm talking about pop music. When it comes to fashion, the whole world is looking to Africa. When it comes to even entrepreneurship and business opportunities, because we are at a place where we are growing still as a continent, all eyes are here. And that translates in everything across the board. So with that, I was like, okay, this is a gap that I feel it would be really necessary. And of course, I can't do it by myself. We need as many of us to really make this happen. You can't walk alone. Maybe just Liverpool. But I saw the gap, which I think is a gap, and that's what entrepreneurship is about. And just filling that gap, and I thought maybe let me try this new style and see what it does. And the reception has been great. And I remember talking to Ngare outside there. Where's Ngare? Yeah, an amazing guitarist as well. I just told him about the project, and he was like, how are you going to make money off this? And then, I was like, I'm going to speak about it right here, and really, for us to really understand what it is, because I feel also as musicians, in Kenya, because that's what I know best, is we really do not explore different ways of revenue streams. So for instance, how many of you are playing studio, any instrument, like recording studio? Just special ones. Okay, that's few. It's about 6, 7 hands. So how many of you that have raised your hands have a publisher? Just be honest. But 0. So that's one of the things that I want to speak about, because when you get into studio, there's 2 ways that you get paid. So either it's pay for hire, which you go and get your 3K, 5K, whatever it is that you value yourself, however much you value yourself. Or the other option is to really be part of the royalties. So the artist or the musician or the owner of the music gives you points, royalty points to the song. Now, we need to remember that music is forever, guys. Music is forever. It's a long game most of the time. And that 5K will only take you on a date at a restaurant here in Nairobi. And that's just about it. So there are 2 ways to go about it. You can either ask for both. I think also Matoria can talk about this because you do a lot of sessions, if you're okay with that. He's a producer and also records for so many other artists.
You can give him the microphone.
Yeah. And at this point when you have points in a song, music can go anywhere. You just wake up one day and your song is playing in Squid Game, for example. So wewe ulipoa 5K yako ukaenda. And the owner of the song, since now they took all the publishing rights, they're being paid, some crazy amount of money, and you don't have anything. So what's stopping you from getting a publisher to collect your money and to make sure that everything you record in studio has your name on it? And points, even 1 point goes a long way. So you have, in big record labels, you have someone like Rihanna, for example, can have like a wide range of songwriters and musicians. Her job was just to come into studio, was told to sing like this, she sang and she left. Usually, most of the time even, she doesn't have most points. She doesn't have the majority of the points, royalty points. It's the other musicians. And that system, of course, it's out of, I guess maybe out of ignorance or lack of knowledge that we don't have here in Kenya, but I always try to educate everyone who comes to play for us to at least get, if they have publishers, to get points. First of all, strive to get a publisher. There are many publishers all across the world who want to get people to sign with them. And just make sure you get your value from that session, because you never know where the music will go. You always have, when you write as a publisher, as a publishing artist is next of kin. So many people, your whole generation is going to benefit from your music because the music is forever, right? So let's really take that into our minds and at least put it into practice. Ontario, I'll let you speak on that.
Yeah. I guess.
Here.
I don't feel comfortable standing.
Okay, seat is fine.
So I think it's it's a lot about what you just mentioned. What I think about it is in Kenya right now, if I think about royalties, it's going to take a bit of time.
Yeah.
But if I'm being honest, it's the best way. So how I think about it as an instrumentalist was I started as an instrumentalist and then released music like maybe 4 or 5 years into my music career. I've made more money from royalties than being a session musician combined for all the 10 years professionally that I've been in the industry. Recently, we released an EP with an artist called Erosh and DJ Tentans called Happiness.
Erosh is here, baby.
Erosh is in the building.
Here. This middle lane, here. For those looking behind.
Yeah, and a few months ago, actually we didn't push it as much because it was actually a project we did for ourselves. And the song has gotten a sync deal for an advert for a bus, an electric bus that's about to be launched in Kenya. So they negotiated with us. It's not a lot of money, but since I have a dope manager, the guys who got the song will also shoot a music video for us.
Nice.
So it's also about thinking about value exchange.
Yeah.
I was also part of the producer. I also produced the song Baldman Anthem by Bien, which I got around.
You can say the amount, it's fine.
Between $200 and $500 for the track. But also because I had built a brand, which is stage 2, what I think you should do. Now, the first thing you should do as an instrumentalist is make sure your work is everywhere and like everyone trusts what, your work. You don't have to go through the process like me. This is just my opinion. So, as I criticize Mkitaka. But what I think is, number one is you have to make a strong brand. One that's going to be trusted. And then the second thing is now you decide for yourself how much you value yourself, the way you say it. And then number 3 is just build on the brand and monetize it as much as possible. So at the stage that I was in 2021, I could negotiate for being paid and also keeping some of the rights for the song. And the song just got a sync deal. There's a new Kenyan series, Netflix series called, what is it called?
I know the one you're saying. That one.
Pia Kikamba. Sorry?
Yeah, Country Queen.
Yeah. Exactly. So I was just chilling in the house and then I got a call. Hey, what's up?
You're just sipping yogurt in the house.
Exactly.
Inside joke.
Yeah. So, even though Kachek Kali come through, I got another call this week for Inauma by Bien again. Bien ni kama akona bahati mzuri. So that's going to be another check as well. So I think it's just making sure you're in the right, you position yourself the right way so that when the opportunity comes, unasonga nayo.
Because even just to that, Victoria, like that's the production money that you get, which is, you say $200 to $500. What do you do with it, honestly? in this economy. You're only shopping 1 month na imeisha. Unajua, for example, or something just, it's not, oh, me, yangu ni tofauti. I have 3 months basi. But my point is, at any point, like as you said, you're just sitting down, minding your own business, and you get a call that music that you now are part of the royalty system has been done for this, this, and this. And it's not just the top artists, like you're saying. Any music, there's so much music out there. Like I know artists that have music that's not necessarily, it's not even pop, it's not even known, but the sinking, royalties that this artist gets is out of this world, and that's how they make their money. So question.
Yeah, how do you get the sync deals?
How do you get the sync deals? So, if you're, depending on are you talking as an artist or as a musician? Those are two different things. Because as a musician, it's the artist you're associated with that will get that deal, right? Because you've played maybe in their song or you've produced them, for example. As a musician. So as a musician, so with publishing, it's very, once you have a publisher for you, usually some of the time they actually look for these opportunities for you. So as an artist, for example, I'll speak from an artist's point of view because the musician is kind of connected to the artist. So as an artist, they look for these deals for you. So they actually market your products out there. So they look out for deals because they also need to make money. They're making money off you from selling you to different kinds of sync opportunities. So with that, that's part of their job. That's what they should do, for you. So that's how you get those opportunities. And there are many other ways. It depends. Sometimes the Batiapo too, maybe it's one of your friends who's doing something and they say they want your music. Putting a space in spaces, even networking like this. Maybe someone is doing a movie here and you're a great musician and you guys click and you do something together. And then that song that movie gets bought by Netflix or whatever, and you get royalties from that.
So Yamaha could be doing a commercial and they use the music from here.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So there's commercials, as it says, there's movies, there are also actually, good question you asked, because there are also platforms where you can put your music there and wait for people. So people go there to kind of source for different kinds of moods or different types of music that suit their, let's say, as I say, I have a cooking show, for example. I need music. I'm actually that was the main reason I did the Potluck album, is because I was like, why should I license other people's music when I'm a musician myself and I can have my music licensed, for this kind of stuff? And what's better way to start than with myself? So also there are these platforms where you actually put in your music there and people come and it's like a marketplace, people come and shop, they license either for a certain period of time or they buy all the rights and you get your money there. So places like BeatStars, I know for producers who are in the house, BeatStars really does a lot of wonders. I know Kenyan producers are not even haven't done any pop stuff for artists here and are getting checks of 200K every month because of BeatStars. Right? Yeah. Any other question? That's a question.
Aside from sync deals, are there any other
for musicians? The usual gigs and so I'm going to get to branding.
He's asking, besides sync deals, if there are any other income streams for musicians.
Yeah. So what do you play? What instruments do you play? You play the guitar. So I think most of that really stems off your branding, which is I think we can get to after this. And with the branding is just marketing yourself really, and there's so many ways to get different revenue streams from that branding that you put yourself as. So And a good example, I unfortunately left, is someone like 2B, who's really, living off his career, even Robin, I'm not going with off their branding and really being out there as a guitarist. And the branding really brings so many other opportunities. Because, revenue streams are honestly, it's such a broad place. Like, there's so much that you can do, and everyone is unique to what kind of opportunities they can get, depending on how you brand it yourself. Yeah, which you can get to now in depth for the next session. Yeah. Yeah. The mic behind you.
Hello guys, my name is More Music from Nakuru. My question is, how was it for you guys when you're starting in terms of originality? Because most of us creative here, we are more focused on doing other people's projects and forgetting our own originality.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, that's it. Okay. Originality is something that's very, I don't know. It's kind of, what's the right word? English again. It's almost not realistic in a way, because we source a lot of inspiration from other musicians, right? You are in a certain place because you're inspired by a certain artist to sing a certain way or to play a certain way.
So I can say for any artist, even instrumentalists, find your distinct ingredient base as an artist. Once you have that refined, you also ought to do research, as Polycarp said. You can't expect someone from outside to clean your house for you. You need to show them around the house. You need to show them this is how I do things, this is what's going on. Then from there, the manager can now add value to it and take it now to the next level. But without that initial refinement, it makes it hard. I think that's basically what I can throw in. Wendy, as a manager, maybe you can also say something.
Hi guys. You might think I'm loud enough. I just wanted to expand on that a little bit and add that as an artist, as a guitarist, whatever it is you do, you have to know enough about the business that you won't get a manager that will confuse you or dupe you. So I think it's also important that you do your research, which is what Polly said earlier. Like, learn about the industry, learn about the music, learn about what you can earn, what you can get. And I think workshops like this are so fantastic for that. So before you get a manager, make sure you know what the manager is doing, because otherwise, you all know. So yeah, I wanted to say that. And then asking for a friend who's outside, they're asking where can one rent equipment in this country? I don't know if Yamaha has a branch like that, but even just the general audience, like if you're looking to rent a guitar or amps and all of that, so everybody has a good answer for that. You have the
yeah.
So if anyone else is wondering, but yeah, I think that's, I just wanted to say that.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Maybe just to answer your question, we asked if Yamaha has such kind of a maybe a facility or something. Unfortunately, we do not rent after equipment.
Not yet.
No, we do not rent. This is because it's very simple. This guitar is very unique, and once you start playing it, and now it becomes part of you. Sometimes when you sell it to someone else as a second hand, we really encourage getting a new from our side. And as Yamaha and together with our partners, we do not have that department for rental, but we do have all the Yamaha equipment which you require, from the low end to the highest end that you can require from us through credits. Thank you.
Maybe for the guitarists, I know, okay, this is all about coming back to the community. So if, for example, if you're in the WhatsApp group, most people just comment, like, I'm looking to buy an effects pedal, or I'm looking to rent a guitar. So in this kind of community, there's someone who specializes in renting out not only guitars, but other equipment. Yeah, so I think just joining the community is I think the biggest plug at this point in time. Yeah.
Hi guys, I'm my name is Ngari Mukiri. I'm a singer-songwriter and guitarist. Just to give context to the question I wanted to ask, I just released an EP like just about a week ago called Live at Ngeki Studios. It's available on all platforms. I call my music like alternative folk, and I'm also a session guitarist for a local band called the Dagos Women's Blues Band. And the Dagos, there's a restaurant. It's named after a restaurant. Yeah, Dagos. It's named after a restaurant that used to be at the Great Corner called Dagos. So Dagos Women's Blues Band. But as a person who is struggling to establish himself as a singer-songwriter and session guitarist, both in the studio and stage, and as a performer, my question is just to also build off what you're saying as before I even think about getting like a proper manager or getting signed to a record label, I need to refine what I'm giving out, my sound, and getting myself known. My question is, like when I'm starting off and I don't, like for example, like you, Polycarp, come from a well-known band or from a well-known platform, and people who don't know who I am, as important as it might be to have my music credited out, and have the legal formalities taken care of, it's deeply important to say like for the first few years, it's to focus on the quality of what I'm putting out, the consistency of what I'm putting out, and basically through that, a relationship that's consistent with my fan base before I think about monetization. That's my question.
Okay, so you see the point where you're at is exactly where all of us have been, right? It's not a unique place to be. I'm sure most of us are there. We definitely have been there. And it's a point where you have to give so much more than you receive, fortunately or unfortunately. And you have to give, and really put your brand out there shamelessly. So I know there's so many people who have music out there and maybe post once on their stories and post once a month or do. I'm just talking about social because we're in the world of social media right now, right? You really need to push yourself so shamelessly and believe in yourself, especially if you know for sure that you are really talented, like I know you are. It's something that you really have to just be out there as much as you can. Play any opportunity you get. Network with your buddies. Just put yourself, I believe putting yourself out there, be it playing or being in even this kind of space, you will always get with your tribe. You will always find opportunities that will come to you, and they will slowly build up together to get you to where you want to be, and probably even further than you ever think. And as I said, the relationship now at this point with your fans is extremely important right now. Aside from thinking monetary, of course, you still have to treat it as a business. I'm not saying you play free gigs all the time, but there's just a way that you can really, just put yourself and put your work out there shamelessly. You can push an album, a piece of product for even 2 years if you believe in it, and without even releasing anything else. We have big bands or many artists who tour with the same album for 2 years, for example. It means that they really believe in it, they know what it's going to do to them. And it's the same thing even if you're starting out, it's the same thing. If you know your product is great, it's definitely going to give, for sure. Some, it depends, some may take a while, some you may be lucky early enough, you may be lucky later, but luck does not come with itself, it comes with your input as an artist. Yeah, I hope that it's more of a piece of advice. It's not really an answer because you don't really have a direct answer to the question.
No.
Yeah. And leave this to you. There's all these hands. You watch and go. Oh.
So hi guys.
Hi.
I'm Edward, a producer. So there was a time to go to studio and we were jamming at a certain beat and after like a week, the beat, I think it was stolen because the studio is a bit far from home. So kabla when the studio, you think twice. So there was a time I was just at home sipping my own strong tea. And Gafla being who I had my project, it was redone by your Alex. You know that producer? Yeah. So the project was taken and it was taken to your Alex by Goodaman.
Alas. We are naming people now.
Next video.